You think your family reunions are messy? Try having a family reunion where your whole extended family is a bunch of grumpy empires with big mustaches, everyone is carrying huge weapons, and the big fight starts because one guy eats a bad sandwich. This is the story of World War I. It was a horrible war that could have been easily avoided. It's less like a cool action movie and more like a really awkward comedy of mistakes, but one where millions of people died. So how did the whole world trip and fall into a 4-year meat grinder? Get ready, because we're about to look at the mix of pride, fear, and really bad luck that blew up the world. It all starts with a simple word you can remember: M.A.N.I.A. Europe in 1914 wasn't just ready for a war, it was practically asking for one. The continent was like a dry forest waiting for a single spark, and the things that made that fire possible, we call it M.A.N.I.A. M is for militarism. This is a fancy word for a simple idea. My army is bigger than your army. Countries were in a crazy race to build the most weapons. Germany was building a huge navy to challenge Britain's. France and Germany were making their armies much bigger. It was like everyone was trying to have the biggest gun. A is for alliances. To feel safe, countries formed these best friend forever clubs. But these weren't real friendships. It was a giant game of picking sides. The huge problem? If one of your friends gets into a fight, you have to jump in to help. And soon, everyone is throwing punches. N is for nationalism. This is thinking, my country is the best country ever and better than yours. This was also happening inside big empires where smaller groups of people wanted to rule themselves. This made empires like Austria-Hungary very shaky. I is for imperialism. This was the I'm taking your land game. Powerful countries were all grabbing colonies in places like Africa and Asia. Germany felt it started too late and was angry. Britain and France had already taken the best parts. This made Germany very mad. And the last A, this is the spark, the match thrown into the dry forest, the moment it all fell apart. And it involves a sandwich. June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the next in line to lead Austria-Hungary, is visiting the city of Sarajevo. A group of Serbian nationalists decide to kill him. Their first try fails. The Archduke is fine. He decides to go visit people hurt in the attack. But his driver makes a wrong turn. The car stalls. It stops right in front of a deli. And one of the assassins, a young man named Vavrilo Princip, just happens to be there, eating a sandwich. I am not making this up. Princip walks out of the shop, sees the Archduke's car stopped right in front of him, and can't believe his eyes. He pulls out his gun and fires 2 shots. Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie are killed. Just like that, the most important sandwich break in history sets the stage for a world war. This is where the M.A.N.I.A. takes over. What should have been a small problem between 2 countries pulled in the whole continent. Austria-Hungary, super angry, goes to its best friend, Germany. Germany's leader gives Austria a blank check, which means do whatever you want, we will back you up, no matter what. Feeling brave, Austria-Hungary sends Serbia a list of demands that were meant to be impossible. Serbia agrees to most, but not all. Austria declares war anyway. Russia, who saw itself as the protector of Serbia, feels it has to step in, so they start to get their army ready for war. Germany sees Russia getting ready and freaks out. They have one main war plan. The plan says to beat France first, super fast. But to hit France fast, the plan required marching through the small, neutral country of Belgium. Germany tells Russia to stop. Russia says no. Germany declares war on Russia, then on France, and marches their army into Belgium. This was the final mistake. Britain had an old promise to protect Belgium. Germany stomping through Belgium gave Britain the reason it needed to join the fight. Britain declares war on Germany. In just over a month, one murder had pulled the whole continent into war. So who do we blame? The assassin? The angry Austrians? Germany with its blank check? The truth is, everyone gets a piece of the blame pie. The shooting was the trigger, but the gun was loaded by years of M.A.N.I.A. If the alliances hadn't been so strict, the problem might have stayed small. Instead, the whole system was built to blow up. And the saddest part, in 1914, most people were happy about the war. They thought it would be a short, exciting adventure. They had no idea they were walking into a nightmare of trenches and machine guns that would break their world. World War I was a cruel war that changed the world map and created the problems that would lead to World War II. So the next time you get into a stupid argument because of a misunderstanding, think about the summer of 1914. Remember that sometimes the biggest disasters start with a chain of small, silly choices, a whole lot of pride, and one very, very unlucky sandwich. It's a huge tragedy, but it's also a funny lesson in how not to get along with other countries. If you enjoyed this dive into history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content from National Documentary. We have so many more stories from the past to share with you. Thanks for watching.